This song starts out with the first verse, which sounds something like this. And yeah, so to play that, basically what you're doing is you're playing sort of a bass line that goes 6th string, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, 6th string open, and then 6th string, 2nd fret. So it's a... And then to actually sort of play the melody, what you're doing is you're really just playing the 2nd and 3rd strings, and on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, that sort of thing, sort of hammering on and off. And then on the 3rd string, you're playing the 2nd fret. So it's a lot of... And so, yeah, that's really the only thing you're playing to get the melody. It's just the 2nd and 3rd string. So in order to kind of find that, I think you can kind of play around with the picking, but it's basically... And yeah, so on. So yeah, the key is just to sort of combine those two, the bass line and the melody there. So it starts with, basically you start the song just by playing that 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then coming in with the 3rd string open with a 6th string, 3rd fret. So, and then the next part. So if I play it slow. And yeah, I think the way that the fingering works for me is kind of start with the middle finger playing the bass there, and then get the index finger down here, then the open. And I tend to grab this with my thumb. And yeah, that's pretty much the first verse. Alright, so after that first verse, you get to the chorus, which is going to sound something like this. So yeah, so this is where sort of the percussive elements start in this song. And yeah, the basic outline of the chorus is you're going from E minor to G to C to A minor. And then again, one more time through on that. But yeah, of course, you're trying to pick out the melody. And so the melody of the chorus is really kind of all up here in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. So what you're doing is you're kind of playing the 1st string at the 3rd fret, the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, and then the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. So it might be good just to, get familiar with the melody part, which is a... So just open first, hitting down on the 3rd, and then playing the 2nd. And then it comes down to a... So that's a 1st string, open, 2nd string, 3rd, And then the third string, you're kind of coming on and off on the second fret. And then it kind of switches up a little bit the second time through on the chorus. It goes. So that's the first string, hitting down on the third, second string on the third, and then the first without open again here. And then it's identical again with the so yeah, so basically that's pretty much the which she sings in the song. And then the key is just to add the chords as you go. So yeah, what you're gonna do is when you get done with that first verse, you play the beginning of that melody with a whoops, and then you play the E. So what you're doing there is you're playing that, and then you're just sort of rolling up the E minor here, and then you're hammering down on the fourth string on the fourth fret. And that same, you're gonna do that again a couple times in the chorus. So that sort of motion here is one you gotta get familiar with. And then you move into a D, or sorry, a G. Second part, and switching to a C, and again hammering again, and then A minor, so yeah, I mean the trick is just practicing on combining, sort of playing the chords along with that melody. And so I think what you need to do is just get used to starting with that melody and then transitioning to that hammer. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one that hopefully that gives you enough to play around with it. Once you get that in place, I think that's obviously sort of the most identifiable part of the song with the chorus there, and I think it sounds pretty nice, and it might be the hardest part of the song, so if you can get that in place, you're pretty much well on your way here. Alright, so then coming out of the chorus, you move to the second verse. So at the end of the chorus, you're doing a so when you're playing the verse, the second verse, just like on the first verse, pretty much all of the melody part is coming from the second and third strings. That kind of playing around with these notes here. The pattern's a little bit different than the first verse. And then the other thing I do here in the second verse is, you're basically trying to keep the same sort of chord progression of E minor, G, C, A minor. So when you get to the end of the chorus, you're on that A minor. And then what I do is I play the kind of an A sus4 a couple times. And then you're into the second verse. So now you're picking this third, this is an E minor chord, and you're picking the third string here. So I guess that's a while you're moving from the E minor to the G. Now you're in this sort of C shape. So I don't know, I mean, I don't know how best to describe that other than to say that you're basically just moving between E minor, G, C, which I'm really just kind of putting my finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then A minor, which is really not anything other than just sort of playing this 5th string kind of open. And then I think you need to sort of play around with, again, how the melody plays out over the 2nd and 3rd string. But again, I'll play it once more just really slowly so that maybe that'll help you. So again, you're coming out of the chorus. So I don't know, sorry not to give you more explicit instructions on that, but I think if you play around with that, you can probably figure that out on your own. All right, so so far you've got the first verse, you go to the chorus, play the second verse, out of the second verse you're gonna play the chorus again, and then out of that second time through the chorus is when in the song they move to this instrumental with sort of a lot of different electronic sounds going. And yeah, was my best attempt to sort of capture that. So you're going to come out of the chorus on an A minor again, and then you're going to come up and play this. And you're going to get into the bridge after that. So yeah, it's not a perfect one-to-one of what is in the song there, but hopefully capture some of it. So the way that's going to work is, again, when you play that A minor at the end of the chorus the second time, you're going to come up here and play the 7th and 9th frets on the 3rd string, and then the 7th on the 5th string. So get you into it. And then basically what you're playing with your I guess your ring finger, your index and your middle finger are going to be playing kind of between the 7th and 9th frets. You're going to play this melody here. So you kind of go through that twice like that. And then while you're playing that, your pinky and ring fingers are going to be on the 10th fret of the 1st and 2nd string. Kind of just doing this. Kind of in the background. So again, you've got the A minor out of the chorus. And now you're into it. And you're getting your, like I said, pinky and ring fingers on the 10th. So that's one time through, and you do it again. So. Yeah, so something like that. Again, everything's kind of played on the 7th and the 9th. And then, yeah, what I basically am doing with the first and second strings is just sort of hitting it with my, with this on the right hand, my strumming hand, kind of hitting it with sort of raking across it with my index finger here. And then the key there at the jump, as we'll talk about here, getting towards the bridge, is that you're going to have to jump from down here to an E minor. So yeah, if you made it this far, the last thing that you need to learn is the bridge. Once you have that, you're pretty much set, because the rest of the song is largely just sort of recycling things we've already done. So the bridge comes straight out of the instrumental. So you're going to finish the instrumental up here, and then the bridge will sound like this. So yeah, so basically what that is when you jump down out of the instrumental, the chord progression is going to be an E minor, G, C, D, and then second time through E minor, G, this time straight to a D, and then D again. And yeah, while you're doing that, you're picking out the melody, and this time the melody is kind of all in the first and second strings, so a little bit higher than before, and it's going to kind of have a combination of the first string on the third and second frets, and the second string on the third fret. Maybe I can just play it slow, and you can get a sense of what's going on here. So straight out of the instrumental. So yeah, I mean, I think with that one, again, it's just a matter of sort of listening to that and figuring out what that picking is across the first and second frets, and then that sort of outro there is really just all in a D chord, where you've just got a D chord, except for you're pushing down on the third fret on the first string, then to a D, and then you've got an open first string. Then you're playing, really focusing on the third string, or third fret on the second string, and then that one becomes open. So you're just sort of walking down. And then that's where it moves to the breakdown. Yeah, there's quite a bit going on in the song, as there's sort of like overlapping choruses and singing kind of stuff going on, and that's where, for me, I just go back to the intro at the beginning, and so I kind of play that, and then I get into the first verse. And then just to kind of mix it up, rather than finish out that second time through, I go and I play some harmonics up here, and so I play kind of a, and so that's all kind of second, third, and fourth string. So on the third string, and second string, third again. So hang on. Then finishing on the fourth string, seventh. And then you really got it, because at that point you're really just moving into the chorus one more time. It's actually a double chorus, so you kind of play through the chorus twice, And then to get out of the song at the end there, the second time through on that chorus, then I just sort of kind of cycle back to the outro, which is really the same as the first verse. I mix it up a little bit because I'll come out of it and I'll play that A sus4 out of the second chorus. So that feels a little bit more like the chord progressions on the second verse. And then the last time through, I'll be back on the first verse, kind of the... Then that's the note you finish on there, basically that 6-string 3rd fret. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. Again, you can watch just the video of the full song to see that last bit, kind of how that plays out. But again, there's really nothing new there after you get through the bridge. And if you want to throw in those harmonics, great. But other than that, you're really just playing chorus again, a couple times again. And then to get yourself out of the song, I mean, you could have just gone any way you want to sort of just play that same sort of melody that you have at the beginning of the song. And then again, ending kind of right there. All right, yeah, hopefully that works. If you have questions, just let me know, and I can hopefully explain better.